John and Vicky Joe Whitty present a pretty cool historical perspective kind of docu-comedy thing.
Time trip. Do you know what Pam's mother told me?
What?
She said that rock and roll had a devil beat.
My parents say it arouses sexual desires.
Bobby?
Well, that's what she said.
Well, my parents say the same thing, but you didn't have to say that icky word in front of me.
Sexual desires.
Bobby!
Why, in the modern age we're living in, it would take a lot more than a little bit of rock and roll music to destroy the moral fiber of this young generation, thus compromising our great nation. A lot more. It would take an all-out media attack against traditional family values and common decency. It would take a heavy dose of rebellion straight from the pit of hell. It would take a deterioration of the work ethic that made this nation great. And last but not least, it would take our brightest and most promising young people on college campuses all over this great nation of ours to lead their entire generation into a cultural baptism of drugs.
Why, that's not going to happen.
No, ma'am, it's not. What we need to do is just have all the rich people, the capitalistic pigs, send all their extra money to Washington, D.C., and then the government could just write everybody a check.
A check in the mail.
That's what we want.
Oh,
yeah.
Far out, man.
Yep.
Then nobody'd have to hike to Kansas.
Nobody'd have to hitchhike anywhere.
Well, nobody'd have to work.
We just sat out on the porch in the sofa and watched the grass grow. Things are gonna change. It's gonna happen, because one of these days there's gonna be one of us in the White House. Oh. All right?
Yeah.
But how do I know and how do you know that my conscience wasn't put inside of me, but by God to keep me from doing the things I shouldn't do?
Oh, I guess I just know that since God is dead. What about me? Don't I deserve the right to be legally married to whom I'm in love with? I have the right to be legally married to plant life. And you don't have the right to say that we're not a family. At least continue to fight for your right for abortion, children, because remember, the fewer people we have, the fewer problems.
The answer to the world's problems is one world government.
Pardon me, but I'm just going to rearrange the vibes in this room now.
She was interrupting my speech and my life, and I'm pro-choice. And since I know that she was too, she shouldn't be offended.
Oh, for $10 million, why are you afraid to die? Go!
Why am I afraid to die?
Talk.
Oh, what a question!
Talk, Bobby, talk.
Why am I afraid to die? Oh, drag it out, drag it out, drag it out! I'm afraid to face God! I'm afraid of the judgment!
Little seemingly innocent rock and roll songs that we would tap our feet to in the 50s would gradually begin to change the minds of the nation's young people about the definition of love. We as a nation moved on into the 60s, and we began to declare that the greatest gift that God had ever given mankind, that being the gift of a love between a man and a woman, we declared it had no price attached to it, and it was free. And we're still reaping a terrible harvest of generations who've come from free love. With our standard of right and wrong pulled out from underneath our society, the 90s became a parade through our nation's courtrooms in a dire attempt to legislate and litigate ourselves through a maze of self-styled morality. Where will we go from here? What does the future hold?